What's up, nation? I just got done smoking some pretty good shit. And it's actually time for me to cover an album that's kind of worthy of that. Of course, Pittsburgh, PA is home of the Steelers, home of the Pirates, home of the Penguins, so 2 out of 3 ain't bad, right? It's also home of the 2010 Rookie of the Year, the Freshman of the Year, Wiz Khalifa, who here in 2011 is going to be releasing his debut record for Atlantic Records entitled Rolling Papers, well, today. Yeah, March the 29th. Rolling Papers is now officially released in stores, and you can now go and pick it up. Of course, this has the hot single from around Super Bowl time and before and after, Black and Yellow, which is still heard on the radio today. And it's featuring 14 tracks, roughly about 57 minutes worth of music that I would consider to be a hybrid between rap and R&B, and there's minor tatterings of soul mixed in there, but they are very indistinct, very difficult to pick up on. You really have to stretch your imagination in order to really draw that conclusion. However, I am drawing that conclusion because I do hear hints of it, just kind of in an overly simplistic format. And unfortunately, that's something in which I really feel that this record is a little weak on. And this is something that I've noticed in a lot of hip-hop that has gotten significant attention, especially around this area. There's definitely been a real rise to simplicity, unless your name is Eminem and you're trying to go as fast as humanly possible. Now, overall, this is one of those albums that is not unlike any typical rap album in my personal view, and that's the fact that you're going to be treated to a couple of gem-worthy songs, gem-worthy tracks, so to speak, and then the rest of them will potentially have something that's going to really benefit you, whether it be a good backing bass beat that you're going to be able to thump in your car and, you know, impress all of your friends in the car club that you're in. Either that, or it might have some lyrics that actually speak to you, and might have something that will help you through a breakup, or, you know, just something that'll help you sit back and chill and smoke a little bit of, well, whatever substance you want to smoke to it. And this album is actually fitting for just about all of those things. However, the latter is probably the most, well, prevalent of all of those. These are lyrics that really nickel and dime whenever it comes to any sort of diversity. I mean, you really have to stretch the imagination to find metaphors that don't involve something that has to do with pot, cars, or, well, girls, or there's still a certain level of, I would say, an underdog type approach where he still is coming, you know, someone who is coming up through the ranks that's not necessarily all the way at the top yet, but at the same time there are also moments on this particular record where you can definitely tell that the acclaim has definitely reached him and has started to reach his music a little bit. There's a confident swagger to him that is unlike what he has done on his previous mixtapes and previous albums, where the confident swagger is not because he knows he's going to make it to the top, but because he feels that with this album, he's done just that. And well, this is an album that's definitely going to sell well. It's definitely going to sell well in this area, and I think it's going to sell pretty well nationwide, simply because I believe that Wiz Khalifa is kind of an artist that a lot of people can kind of relate to. The person that's kind of coming up through the ranks and then, you know, it faces a bit of adversity, but just keeps going at it. Really just keeps going at it. Not to mention, it's definitely kind of a great story to begin with for this area, considering Pittsburgh has been known for only a couple of different things, aside from the sports scene. There's a lot of little, you know, hidden gems from the yesteryears of the music business. However, whenever it comes to the current scene, this is not exactly a very rich area, if you really want to say that. However, whenever it all kind of pans out, whenever it all sort of comes out in the wash, I have to give this album only a 6 out of 10. Now, that might seem pretty weak to a lot of you guys who are used to me giving metal albums that are pretty terabad, you know, 6.75s or 7s, and calling that, you know, pretty subpar. However, for something that I really don't review all that much, I have to kind of look at this at a different perspective. The way that I see it is that anything between an 8.5 to a 10 is something that you definitely need to have in your collection. 6 to an 8 is probably something that you should probably check into, something that you may get some enjoyment from, and anything under that's kind of like, you're really, you know, it really depends on your taste. You're taking a risk, or just plain flat out sucks. This album doesn't flat out suck. It definitely has some great moments. However, I do feel that things get a little simplistic throughout this ride, and it's something that does make the ride a little bit unbearably long. However, there's enough catchy hooks in here, not to mention there's enough of a kind of believability and it's something that you can easily recall in your own life, that this will seem like a very honest record to a lot of people, and it will seem like something that perhaps they can relate to a certain regard. So, definitely something to check out if you're into that sort of thing. I'm going to say that most of you who are viewing this video that are subscribers of mine probably are not. However, for those of you that are checking this out that are new viewers and potentially new subscribers, give it a shot. It's definitely worth giving a shot, and gotta say that Pittsburgh making it on this scene is definitely a long time coming. So, gotta give Wiz a lot of props, even though I gave it kind of a relatively average score. But keep up the good work, man. You're still representing Pittsburgh proud, and let's face it, everyone around here is still going black and yellow, and, well, I gotta admit, the color of my camera, which I can't show on camera because I'm using the camera to show me, well, the colors are black and yellow. That was not intentional, though.